It's a bigger purpose, right? I don't cheat on my wife because my wife is fine. No amount of food she can cook, no matter how thick her thighs are and how hippie she is, which I like. That's not what's gonna keep me. I don't cheat on my wife because
I'm kicking in your front. Great peeping in your drapes. Rob making the plate in the back. Chief Hall Podcast. Chief Hall Podcast. Chief Hall Podcast. Chief Hall Podcast. Right now. Chief Hall Podcast, we live, and we got some interesting things to talk about. Like we always try to keep it that way.
Come on.
And we don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment as you watch. And if you got some comments, we'll try to get to them and read them, and make sure we can answer some questions. Just put it in the chat, put it in the little comment box, and we'll get at it. So we got Ray in the building. We got special guests tonight, which all our guests are special in many different ways. And tonight we have Mr. Boyd, better known as Broad. And tonight I'll give you a little roadmap of where we're going. Tonight we want to talk about how important still is church in our society, amongst our people, amongst all people. How important is it that we fellowship, as the good book says, assembling ourselves together so that we can grow and strengthen each other. And also we want to go in a little bit and just talk about entrepreneurship with our faith, being able to still be a businessman, still be successful, and at the same time be a man of faith and integrity and driven by a devotion to the Most High God. This is Frankie D coming at you. And now we're going to throw these questions at Broad, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to have a good time tonight as we used to. Broad, where you want to start at? Talk to us, man. We live.
I mean, wherever you want to start. First of all, I'm happy to be here, right? I've seen some of the stuff that you've done, and I'm glad. I'm proud to say I've known you for years.
Yeah, long time.
Don't tell age.
Long time, right? So, but this is good, man. I'm proud of what you guys are doing here.
Yeah, and I'm glad you had the time to do it. And one of our mottos is if we can get you and we got the time, we will make it happen.
Absolutely.
Even if we got to come where you are. We don't like to, but we'll make it happen. Because there's a lot of stuff to lug around, and Ray don't like to lift stuff and help. But we'll get it there. We live.
That's old school. I used to do that back in the day.
Yeah, we live. So look, man, you don't want to talk about it, but we have been knowing each other for 34 years since the days of Carol C. the Middle. Now he doesn't look that old,
Vegetarian, yeah.
but he's getting on up there. He's getting on up there. He's getting on up there. And we're gonna talk a little bit about the beginnings of what may have got you to the point where you really saw how important it is to live and have our faith in everything that we do.
Sure. I mean, it's a guide, right? And unfortunately, a lot of people, their first introduction to faith is a church. It's grandma taking you to church or your parents taking you to church, that kind of experience, right? And so a lot of people, they go for the experience, but never really learned the methods or the reason behind it. Mm-hmm. It became just something to do. So every weekend you would show up to church because grandma took you to church, and you may dance, you may perform, you may feel the spirit, if you will, feel some levels of excitement. But for most people, they can't even break down why is it they believe what they believe. And so for me, it was always important not just to show up every single weekend because my parents took me or they wanted me to go, but what is it that I believe, right? What's the difference out here? Why is it important to live by a certain rule or tenets to guide your life? And what I found is that it's important. If you just lean on, well, it's how I feel, then that's a moving target.
Yeah.
And often people say, well, I'm more, and I know this may get controversial, but people say I'm more spiritual than I am religious. That's a big one, right? And what they're actually saying is, I don't want to subscribe to a system or a system of rules and guide. I just want to be spiritual. But what you're actually saying is, I just want to go by how I feel. And we have to be careful because our feelings are not an accurate indicator as to what is right.
No.
And people kind of get in that mode where religion is not a negative thing. Religion is just simply a system of processes or practices that you believe.
Yeah.
So even if you say, I come home every day, I turn on the light, I cook food, that could be a system of practice of religion that you do.
Yeah.
Religion is not a bad word. So people run from that, but what they end up doing is living a life without any guidance, without any structure.
Yeah.
And without structure and without guidance, you have a free fall.